Hello， 大家下午好欢迎回来大成直播。A very good afternoon to all of you. Welcome back to TSCC Live. Okay, today we have our Reverend Daniel Tay back to again to give us the talks on the sharing on the marriage counselling. So it's recap. Last week, if you have been watching our live telecast, you will be the topics that actually he covered was family counselling. So today we will continue with the marriage counselling subject. So Reverend Daniel Tay. So actually, I would ask you. So normally when we talk about marriage counselling, right? So actually, we're wondering what is marriage counselling?
Well, when we talk about marriage counselling, there's actually two layer or two different aspects of it.
Yep.
First is the premarital counselling,
Yep.
and then the second is the marriage enrichment,
Yep.
for married couples.
So that part is suitable for me.
Yes.
Okay, so usually couples actually when they decided to get married, right? So for sure they know each other to a certain extent that really they have come to some so-called accepting each other's the habits or whatever. But in that case, right, why they still need marriage counselling? What's your opinion about this?
Well, if we are talking about premarital counselling, why it's necessary is that the premarital counselling itself is not just to prepare the couple for them to before they get married, to prepare them to understand each other and so on. It's not just that. But premarital counselling is to help them understand that the marriage is more than just two person loving each other, and then you need to know how to become a better person. You need to manage your expectation. You need to be able to be to communicate, to do a lot of different things together, so that the future together as a couple would be safeguarded, would be able to go on strongly.
Okay, so when a couple actually decided to do this marriage counselling, right? In the marriage counselling process, right? Actually, what is it covered inside? That means, what are the topics? What are the areas that actually help them to improve their relationship?
Well, when we talk about premarital counselling, it might be when the couples get to know each other, or after some time that they want to settle down to really go into marriage. So, be it either case, the main areas that we will cover will be communication, conflict resolution, partner style and habits, financial management, leisure activities, sexuality and affection, family and friends, relationship roles, children and parenting, and even to a certain extent we include the beliefs, spiritual beliefs and so on.
There's a lot of topics to cover. So yes. A lot of preparation to do. So we talk about this. We know that seeing each other every day is not an issue. Then, actually you are dating. So when you need to stay together, okay, I'm sure the communications will be a challenge. And then after, definitely will have conflict. So in that aspect, maybe we can elaborate more on communications, conflicts, resolutions where we actually couples may encounter when they in their marriage life.
Well, when we talk about communication, this is the main problem. Not just marriage couple or premarital couples will face. Communication is an issue that all of us would encounter throughout our life at different stages and different times. So one thing that it's emphasized in premarital counselling is that we encourage or we teach and help the couple to learn about assertiveness and active listening. So this is a skill that would help the couple be able to speak to one another, to communicate, to be able to listen, and then to think and respond in each other's perspective.
I see. So, beside this communications, I believe that when the couple engage into an argument, right, they tends to maybe I would say the emotion come up. Okay, they will start to pick each other shortcomings. So, in that aspect, how you advise that the couples will actually try to minimize the impact of this conflict?
Well, if you're talking about just in communication itself, not to the extent of conflict resolution, we would encourage them to have regular sessions to have dialogues with one another.
Yes.
Then you can practice this assertiveness and active listening. And on top of that, at regular intervals, the couples can have like times or moments that they can share, what their wish list is, and things that they hope to achieve. That it's not just one-off before getting married, but throughout the whole marital life, or even as children or as other things comes about, they are able to continue to communicate, to share, so that they are both in sync with one another, that the relationship will continue to grow together.
So just now I heard you mention about active listening. I think it's very common for myself also. So usually you would like to talk a lot or put your view, but you seldom listens to the other parts, the other half, trying to actually put on top their view also. So actually, what I can recall from a Bible verse that Lord told us that we need to be quick in listening, slow in speaking, and then also slow in anger. So this is, I think, already in Bible already teaching us about active listening.
Yes, there are many different scriptures that we can use in terms of communication, and this is one of the main ones that.
Then after even we have good communication, I'm sure we are all different. Couples are also different, different characters, so they will have different view. So when in a sense when they have conflict, so what is the advice for them to minimize or the impacts of the conflicts, or how to prevent it?
Well, when we are talking about couples already having differences or having conflicts that they are trying to resolve, we would encourage them to go through a process that is called 10 steps of active listening. 10 steps of conflict resolution. So that there's a certain procedure that they can go through, so that they can work out this conflict that they have together.
So maybe you can just share with us these steps, that some of the steps that actually we can adapt.
Well, in that sense, it's like just like in work time, when you work, when you have meetings, when you need to resolve issues in the meeting, it's something similar along that line. So I won't go into details, but basically, it's along that procedure, along that style. Yes.
Then we come to getting married. So the first thing you need to manage the finance. Or when you are alone, you are single, you spend, you have your own habit. You don't need to hesitate so much. Just buy whatever you want most of the time. When it comes to financial management, as far as just now talk about this point, start to think about housing, think about buying, setting up families, buying all the stuff to get ready for our children or whatsoever. So when you talk about financial management, how do you advise the couples to change their when they are alone style to the couple style of management in terms of their money?
Well, yeah, good. So in terms of financial management, we would help couples to understand the meaning of money, to help them know the challenge in terms of financially how they can go about. Because often at times we say, before we get married, your money is your money, my money is my money. But when we are to get married together, often our accounts will belong to our spouse to a certain extent.
So in fact, this part actually we also don't. In terms of money, right? When you alone, you don't have to hesitate how you spend it. But when you come to two person, and then especially to set up a family, the budget, how much to spend on housing, how much to spend on groceries, all this it comes to need a good management.
Correct. That's why the meaning of money, whether you use money as safety, you use money as enjoyment, you use money as for what purpose? This is something that both couples, the couple themselves have to come to an understanding of their respective so-called style and so on.
I see. So then the next part will be the relationship role. So in a family, so for sure before you have children, you have husband and wife. So the roles in the families or in marriage life is different. So usually in Chinese you will say 男主外女主内. This kind of very so-called 封建 or I would say 封建思想, right?
Very
so
traditional, yes.
so very traditional. So what is your advice for them for young couples today? How do they manage this portion of the marriage life?
Well, in terms of relationship roles, we have come to observation and understanding that nowadays it's not necessarily that the guy would be the one who is the sole breadwinner, whereas the lady is the one managing the household, running the family and so on at home, raising the kids. Often than not, you see some modern family or contemporary families where the husband is at home taking care of the family, educating the family, whereas the wife is working. These are possible scenarios, especially so in these last 2 years of the pandemic, where instead of one person out working or both person out working, we see that the couples are working at home with the whole family, with the children, everyone involved. Yeah.
So in terms of this is on the so-called the 一家之主 that kind of roles, but talk about housework, talk about the rest of the decision making, right? So in the roles, what your advice to a couple? That means whether to make a decisions, is it just the husband who make the decision for all the important stuff, or small the issues is the wife decision?
Well, traditionally it would be, it will be like we might joke and say that the big issues the man will settle, the small issues the lady will settle. So what are the big issues? Nothing actually. So all are small issues. So you allow the ladies to work. This is traditionally some guys would take this stance.
Push the responsibility.
Yeah, myself included. But what is critical, what is important actually is what I mentioned earlier in terms of communication. So it would be good that regularly the couple can talk through. At different stages. Maybe at this time, the husband might observe that the wife will need certain support in certain area. Then we as husband to show our love for our wife, we should take that active step to like chat with her, dialogue with her to see what areas that we can put in more effort to work out, so that the relationship at home, the duties at home, and the things that needs to be done at home would be balanced out, so that neither of the couple would be too stressed.
Okay, so that means one advice is that to share the household, right? If you got a maid, then no issue, but you don't have a maid, all the house chores be shared.
In a sense, even with maid, there's also like who is taking the active part to supervise, or who is taking the active part to communicate with the maid to make sure that the things are done properly and so on.
I see.
This needs to be communicated.
Okay, correct. Then talk about that. The next one I would like to touch on is the you see, when you start the planning of having children, then after that in the step. So what should couples consider to when they should have children, or by nature or whatsoever, or are they to be financially ready? So in this part, what will you advise to a married couple on this so-called parenting and having kids preparation?
Well, part of our premarital counseling or training, we would have this portion that we call it to talk about expectations. So the how many child that you want to have, this is also part of the expectation for the couples, that they must talk through, that it must be constantly communicated. Primarily, as Christians, we believe that the child is a gift from God. So when do you want to have children? That will depends on the couple. If you are ready, then of course you can go ahead and try for a child. But if you are not ready, then definitely family planning is required. So you need to do your own so-called prevention or precaution, birth control, and so on.
Okay. Yeah. I see. So in fact, if we if you are couples outside are worried about this parenting, so if you can recall the last month teams were actually on parenting. So don't worry, we have someone can help you with from Sister Hazel, who is already cover, or in fact the whole family. Okay, they can give you a lot of advice. If you cannot remember, just recap back, see the last month's all the TSCC live on this parenting stuff. Okay, so thank you very much. Today almost thumbs up for today. So Pastor Daniel or Reverend Daniel will be back again the week after to give us talks on mental counseling, correct? Mental, is it, if I'm not wrong?
Mental wellness.
Mental wellness counseling. So next week is a special edition because it's a very important date for our Christians, which is 复活节. We have our Reverend Lee, who will be giving us a talk on the 复活节的真义. So stay tuned with us. Okay, next week 1:30, a special edition for our 复活节真义sharing. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye bye. See you next week.
Bye.